And right now, who's in second place right now? At this point, it's going to be the Boston Celtics, the way they playing right now. And Boston would take care of Chicago, right away. 5 games. I'm not going to say it's a sweep, but they're 5 games. So, D-Wade, do me a favor. Just go ahead, chill out, man. Sit down, relax. You don't want to be there anyway. I'm really saying, go back to Miami. Go back. You just tell Pat, look, man, it didn't work out there. Let's not even talk about it. Let's not even, rap a taste about who said what, this, that, and the other, man. Just, I need you to open my locker room back up and let me get back up in there. So, but no. Chicago, Fugazi. That 7th place spot right now is Fugazi. Miami is in the 8th spot. And they're tied with Chicago right now. But just think if D-Wade was on that team. They actually probably would be 5th, close to maybe 4th, in the Eastern Conference. So Chicago, if you thought that Chicago was making a run, and I know Big L is out there, no, it's not going to happen. So give it up, leave it alone. It's not going to happen. So shouts out to my man, the governor of Minnesota, Vince Wright, is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in. He is also an X-Squad affiliate, family member as well. And he has, Vince has he's like the Samuel Jackson, the podcast. He got about 9 different podcasts, but I'm just playing. But he has the Sports Done Right show that come on Tuesdays at 8:30, and he got Sports and More that he does with Reggie Lawrence. And then on Fridays or Saturdays, depending on the boxing event, he have Ringside with Vince Wright. So shouts out to my man, the governor of Minnesota, Vince Wright, who's in the building, as well, X-Squad affiliates family member. So we've talked about the Bulls being Fugazi. Now let's really get into the meeting of this conversation. KD. So it's rumored or they're targeting that KD is going to be back for Saturday, or they're trying to get him back on Saturday. So he's been out since February 28th. So he's been out over a month. It doesn't matter. Golden State is like 10-0, 11-0, in the last 11-10 games, and they are handling business. So this is a scary, very, very scary situation. I really thought they would struggle a little bit, without KD, because they depended on him a lot. They gave up guys. They didn't re-sign guys, so they could make room for KD. And it's like that ship never slowed down. They sat out a bunch of players to play San Antonio. I thought that might be a mistake. Turns out it wasn't. They are still in first place in the Western Conference, and they have a 3.5 game lead on the San Antonio Spurs. So it looks like Golden State knows what they're doing, and then KD is going to come back. If he comes back on Saturday, get a few games in, maybe play about, 10, 15 minutes and everything. I think in the first, obviously they showed that they really don't need him at this point, but they'll probably run into Portland right now, or Denver could be, we're getting really close down to the end, but they could take care of those teams. Still ease them in second round, then they back to handling business. So it's gonna be a scary, playoffs, because Clippers already gave up on them. Houston, they got a smidgen of a chance, and San Antonio I think is going to be their biggest rival or biggest challenge, So more people jumping in the building. My man Big L, I told you Big L would be in here, so shouts out to Big L. X-Squad is in the building as well. So what's up, Big L? Big L, we said we keeping it peaceful in here. So Lopan said he's good. He's not saying anything. So right, Lopan, you cool with Big L for right now?
Indeed.
Okay, so you heard that, Big L. He said he cool. He ain't trying to beef with you tonight. He trying to keep it peaceful, right? So let's just keep it peaceful, everybody. But Golden State, I had them, and for the people that don't know, and you probably will fight me if you ever see me in person, but I had Golden State finishing 3rd in the Western Conference. So I was wrong about that big time, and I apologize, for that. They look like they handling stuff. They cut on a lot faster than what I thought, they would catch on. And the scary part about it is that people are still getting their chances. And it's not like it's always going to be one player. I think when KD gets back, yeah, he'll be, the primary main focus. But you had problems where, Iguodala could get off and all this stuff and other people. But now it's really serious that KD opens up a lot for other players. I mean, Klay has had some crazy games. Steph has had some crazy games. Draymond he's prime and ready for the playoffs. Iguodala. I mean, even JaVale McGee, is contributing to this team. So Sean Livingston, they're still getting this contribution from teams where and the crazy part is they're sacrificing their game for KD and they're still producing. That's a scary thing to be playing them in the Western Conference. Now, could they still be beat? Yes, because we know the playoffs, it slows down. People start game planning and all that stuff. And you never know, an injury could come about. And you don't really know how much better KD need, is. But right now, everyone needs to be on high alert. High alert, Big L said the Cavs will not make the finals. Big L, before I say something, Big L, who you got? If the Cavs not gonna make the finals, who you got in there coming out of the East? So let me know before I say something first. I want to see what you got to say, my friend, because you may say something crazy and then I'll have to unleash Lopan on you. So we're gonna finish up this show with what we were just talking about earlier. So Cavs, Boston playing right now. And it is ugly. It is pretty much ugly. They're playing in Boston, and it's 83-60 right now. 23-point lead at the end, or no, 2:16 left in the third quarter. So you might as well already say it's almost at the end of the third quarter. So Big Al said Washington or the Celtics. Bama boy just said what I said. Hell no, shouted. No, it is not going to be Washington or the Celtics. And here's why. And this right here proves my point tonight, Big L, with the game that's going on, is that Cleveland is up by 23. You're in a game right now. It's not a playoff game, but it got a little atmosphere. And here's why I say that the Cavs can still make it to the Eastern Conference Final and make it to the finals. Because right now, first place is up for grabs. This is not a big game for Cleveland. This is a big game for Boston. This is to show everyone that they are here. And they right now are not showing that they're here. And the reason that I say that is that the Cavs on the road, this is their road record, 19-19 right now. So it's not just the greatest, road and road records. It is, and for Boston, this is what you want. You don't want to go to Cleveland for 4 games if you see them in the Eastern Conference Finals. You don't want to. You want to get them to give yourself a chance to play 4 games in Boston. You want to try to do whatever it is that you can to make everyone else uncomfortable, because you're not going to face LeBron, you're not going to face Kyrie, and you're not going to face J.R. Smith, because J.R. Smith will play at your local Y, with people he owe money to, and he's still going to jack those shots up. So you need every little bit of help you can. Now, you got every Bradley back, Jay Crowder is back tonight, and y'all still getting handled. But this is a mental game. This is to send a message to the other team. And right now, it's not happening. It's like, yeah, it's great, but when you have to play us, you see what's going to happen. That's basically what Cleveland is telling them. Bama boy is saying Cleveland stomping Boston by 23 in the third quarter. So, yep, that's what we were just talking about. Bama boy said Celtics need to just go to the locker room and try again tomorrow. Hit the reset button, or I don't know, use the contra code, up, down, left, right, to get 40 other players so y'all can play on the court at the same time. Because right now, yeah, you're right. They're getting stomped out, and they're getting stomped out at home. So Boston really needed to win this game for them to make some noise, or just for their own mental psyche, to just be like, all right, the spotlight on us, we can handle this. And Cleveland struggled. They last 10 games, they were 5-5, and they lost some games. They actually lost 3 games in a row, So are they up for this whole Boston? Yeah, you bet. Because they told them, look, you guys are you're not on our level. You're not on our level. So it is what it is, with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I still got them going to the finals at this point. I did say Boston would, give them some trouble. If it's Washington could give them some trouble. But at the end of the day, man, that pressure in the playoffs ain't no joke. And that's a team that's dealt with it. So they know how to deal with it. 334 Bama Boy said Boston nor Washington is not battle tested. So just like I was just saying, so you actually right. Big L is saying, remember Big L said it. I will let you know I was right when Cavs get beat in the Eastern Conference playoffs. So I guess when the playoffs start, Big L, you will be the Big L Nostradamus or whatever and go back to that. So I will say he was right in the NFL playoffs. He was getting all of them right except for one, if I remember right. Maybe 2, but we won't talk about that. We know what the second one is. But Big L is calling that right now. So we'll see, Big L. But as of right now, it's not looking good, And speaking of looking good, ladies and gentlemen, last night, did you see the Raptors versus the Pacers? If you did not, just give you a quick update, is that the Raptors were up by 19 points. These brothers blew the lead. Now they're playing in Indiana. Blew the lead and then got blown out by 17 points to the Indiana Pacers. Now, Lance Stevenson is back. This is, he's back at the, Indiana, back at home. The fans are going crazy. He was talking crazy, talking about this is going to be like Michael Jordan. We'll ignore that because something's wrong with this brother. But the game is coming to the end, and Lance is wide open. Nobody's under the basket, and he sees it as an opportunity to score. This is what happened. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's going to do it. And Lance Stevenson is going to lay it up and in. With 3.3 seconds left, and now DeRozan and Lance Stevenson getting into it with Tucker for laying that shot up and in with time running out, and the Raptors at midcourt here. And Tucker and Stevenson with words for one another. And P.J. Tucker headed down toward the Indiana bench because typically, as we know, Leo, with time running out and a game in hand, you would not shoot that basket.
So, like he just said, with time running out, you're up by 17 points. The game is over. It's an unwritten rule. Unwritten rule. Now, do you have to follow it all the time? Some people don't. But for the majority, it's an unwritten rule. You win in the game, you don't add insult to injury. But we got to remember who we talking about. We talking about Lance Stevenson, the brother who blew in LeBron's ear. The brother who was on the sideline, who was not playing in the playoffs and gave LeBron the choke symbol. The same brother that be shimmy shaking and doing all this and jelly and all that stuff, he calls it, and the ball rolls out of bounds. Now, where this is stemming from, and I heard a lot of people, getting on the Raptors. You know what? I'm gonna back the Raptors on this because here's what it is. P.J. Tucker and Lance were going at it in the fourth quarter. Lance had put a little, knocked down PJ, and they were going back and forth, throughout the fourth quarter. So now Lance is winning. The Pacers is winning because they blowing them out because they remind him of that. The game, everybody think the game is over. The game is not over in Lance's mind. He sees an opportunity. This is an opportunity to just, just a little jab, just a little bit, to stick it to him. And then DeRozan, Carroll, PJ Tucker, they go crazy. They flip out and they just like, Yo, that's mad disrespectful, son. And then they stepped to him.